Howdy folks, and welcome back to Refshaw Outdoors. Well, today we're gonna do a little black powder shooting with the Remington New Model Army replica. In a previous video I had just kind of talked about, is that a realistic option to carry in the woods? Obviously in 2026, obviously reliability is not nearly as good as a modern cartridge firing 6-shooter or semi-auto, but they are a lot of fun to shoot. And once you kind of get used to handling them, loading them, it all kind of just becomes second nature. Obviously you can't load them as fast. Even with paper cartridges, you're gonna you still got to put your percussion caps on, and it's going to take longer. But I've kind of come to the conclusion that the Remington New Model Army is the most, probably the most reliable. That's probably going to hurt some Colt cap and ball 6-shooter fans. I kind of wanted the Colts to be better too, but I don't know. This Remington and this one, this is actually a brass frame that I attempted to blue myself, just so it looks more historically correct. I didn't do a great job, but yeah, in the camera you can't hardly even tell. I guess you can, but anyway, since it's brass frame, I only loaded it with 30 grains of powder. Some people say you're only supposed to do 20 in a brass frame. I like it so much, I think I will get a steel frame for dinking around, but it's loaded up with all 6 because it's got the little notches in between the chambers to rest the hammer, so your hammer's not resting on a cap. So there's that. But we're gonna see. I'm gonna try shooting at my favorite simulated bear, 5 chunks of red oak boards screwed together. Now, I've been told by some that lumber of any kind is not the greatest. It's not the greatest for testing penetration, but it's what I use. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and take 6 shots, see how fast I can get them off. I don't have a timer, I wish I did, but we're just gonna see how this works. Get the things in. Now, another thing about these, make sure you use number 10 caps, because there is like no recoil shield on the right side, hardly at all. And if you use number 11 caps, your caps will fall off. So then you have like a 4-shooter or a 3-shooter. But we're gonna go ahead, and I don't even know if I'll hit all 6, but we'll try it. I wonder if you'll, I was just hoping you'll be able to see the smoke. I like the smell of that gun smoke, and the smoke is wafting away. That was kind of fun. Shoot, I don't even think I need earplugs for that. That was just kind of a cloosh. Well, hopefully I hit some of them. We'll go ahead, take the boards apart, and take a look. Well, I was only able to recover 2 of these balls. These are just .454 round balls. So I don't even know what they weigh. I don't think it says on the box, but I was only able to recover the 2, but you can see one, went through, they made it through one 1-inch red oak board, both of them. The other ones, I think, because the boards have been shot a few times, so they were kind of, or I just missed. But I could see that there were some busted off pieces of board, but you can tell these are soft lead because look at how they just mangled compared to right over here. We got some hard cast 10 millimeters. You know, this is buffalo bore. Doesn't even look any different. This is an Underwood. That one deformed, but compared to these, and these are quite a bit bigger bullets. Oh, and then too the Hornady, not DGX, DGH, Dangerous Game Handgun. But yeah, you can see that these round balls deformed quite a bit. But red oak is very hard, so I think it would go through bone. But I could be wrong. All right, so now we kind of did the reliability. And as you can see, fired 6 rounds, no problem. So now I got the chronograph set up. And I am going to write down the velocities. Again, 30 grains Pirate XP. So that'd be like a 3F black powder. It doesn't look like the chronograph and the target downrange are lined up, but I assure you they are. And this is not perfect muzzle velocity, but there's a bit of a drop here. That chronograph looks a lot further away from me than it is, but we are recording. Okay, well, here we go. Put the earplugs in, even though this thing really isn't that loud. Of course, it could be because I have earplugs in. I put Thompson Center boar butter over kind of the nice thing about that, it makes cleaning a lot easier. I've shot it without any kind of wad or boar butter over the ball, and it seemed like it was harder to clean. But this is going to take a little bit longer because I'm writing stuff down, but here we go. $803. All right. And I hit about where I was aiming. $754. It's accurate, that's for sure. 786. $759. Seems like our first one was by far the fastest. 2 rounds. I don't know if I'm hitting it every time. 796. So far we've only had one over 800 feet per second. $784. And yeah, that thing. Ooh. Do we have a jam? Nope. Just like the good, the bad, and the ugly. Angel Eyes carry the new model army. So with 30 grains of Pirate XP, we only had one over 800 feet per second, but unless you're using this against a grizzly or brown bear, you know, I don't see that this amount of power is too little. Well, I'm going to do some math and we'll figure out foot-pounds of energy, and then we're going to figure out the Taylor knockout index or value or whatever, because that's always kind of an interesting thing, I think. Something interesting to know. So let me get out the calculator. Okay. So now that I did all the math, you can go, if you get your velocity, you shoot over a chronograph. There's sites, you can just Google them, you know, put in muzzle energy calculator, and which I'm pretty sure muzzle velocity or energy is velocity times bullet weight. And then same thing for Taylor knockout factor. Just Google it, you'll find a calculator. I think that is velocity times bullet weight times bullet diameter. Now this kind of surprised me, but I had to go online to figure out what those bullets weigh. They're awfully light, 141 grains. So I wrote this down on the back of a target. Remington New Model Army, 141 grain round ball, 30 grains of Pirate XP. So we average 780 feet per second. That gives us a muzzle energy of 191 foot-pounds. Pretty weak. Again, because of such a light bullet. And a Taylor knockout TKO, yeah, not UFC, but 7.1. Now, what does that mean, 7.1 Taylor knockout? Just to give you an idea of what a Buffalo Bore 220 grain hard cast 10 millimeter is going about 1,200 feet per second. I have just about shot up all of my 10 millimeter and not over a chronograph, so I'll have to get some more Buffalo Bore. Shit's expensive though. But we'll just figure that's going roughly, it's advertised at 1,200 feet per second. It's Buffalo Bore, Grizzly cartridge, Underwood, they all say the same. So that would give you about 703 foot-pounds of energy. Again, on the Remington New Model Army, with the load that I had, 191, not even close. Taylor knockout value on the 10 millimeter, 14.8. I think a 44 mag for a TKO is like 17-ish, maybe higher. I think my 45 Colt load, if I figured it out at one time, was like 15 something. But that gives you just a kind of an idea of what that load in the Remington New Model Army was doing. Pretty doggone weak. So that kind of gets me thinking if there was a way to make those bullets a little heavier, or if a guy could, I know you can cast like a conical bullet that's much heavier than the round ball. So that might be something I look into in the future. Just because I like, but maybe the cap and ball 6-gun is just for fun, just for, you know, shooting targets, ring and steel, whatever. But it is fun. I mean, once you get into it, you will get the bug. So Anyway, that is what we have for today's video. And I'm Pete Refshaw with Refshaw Outdoors, and keep your powder dry.